OFA, which you are asking about, is an independent organization that, as reported in the press, will engage in advocacy and grassroots mobilization activities around public policy issues. It will not be engaged in political campaign-related activities. It has been organized to rally support for the President's policy agenda, but is a separate organization. Administration officials routinely interact with outside advocacy organizations, and this has been true in prior administrations, and it is true in this one.
Welcome to Opinion Journal. I'm Mary Kissel. That was White House spokesman Jay Carney with a rather scripted explanation of a new group. It basically allows you to pay $500,000 for access to the president. So is this legal? We've got Best of the Web columnist James Taranto here to discuss that. James, what is Organizing for America and what's the mission? Let's start there.
Organizing for America was the Obama campaign in 2012, formerly Obama for America. Then it became Organizing for America. Now it has a new name, Organizing for Action.
Oh.
The preposition for is the common thread. Organizing for Action is basically the Obama campaign reorganized as a corporation, what they call a social welfare corporation, under section, which is exempt from taxation. Its operations, though not its donations, are under section 501c4 of the Internal Revenue Code. This means that it in fact can engage in political activity, which Carney denies that it will. The most important part of that news conference is that Carney did not deny the report in the New York Times that it is selling access to the president, that for $500,000 you get to join the advisory board and you're promised quarterly meetings with the president of the United States.
Is that legal?
Yes. Think of it as...
Is it ethical?
Well, let's start with the legal question. In principle, it's no different from when a candidate, including the president, when he was running for re-election, speaks at a fundraising dinner or poses for pictures with top donors. The difference is the amount of money. A candidate can only collect $5,000 some under campaign finance restrictions. He can speak at a party fundraiser and then it goes up by an order of magnitude, then it's about $40,000. Here they're going up by yet another order of magnitude. They're collecting a cool $500,000. They can do this because it's an independent organization, as Mr. Carney said, and therefore it's not subject to the contribution limits.
Well, if this is so great, why didn't he do it in the first term?
Well, he couldn't do it in the first term because what Carney kept saying was this is an independent organization. If it had been an independent organization the first term and he had conducted fundraisers, that would have been coordination, which is illegal. An independent group can engage in political activity, but it can't coordinate with a campaign. So Obama, his price has suddenly gone up because these contribution limits, which are in effect price controls on politicians, on access to politicians, don't apply to him because he is a lame duck and therefore no longer a candidate.
The president really hated the Supreme Court case Citizens United, which gave free speech to corporations, allowed them to give these kind of donations. Is the president now taking advantage of the benefits that case afforded? Well,
he probably would not have started this sort of organization were it not for Citizens United. What they're doing, the access selling would have been perfectly legal before Citizens United. Citizens United only affected political speech. So the political speech of Organizing for Action is not subject to regulation by the Federal Election Commission, therefore, now their tax-exempt status may be in some question if they do too much political activity, but that's a separate part of the law.
Does this give a big advantage to the incumbent in the White House to raise these sort of unlimited amounts of money?
Well, it depends on what Organizing for Action decides to do. Let's suppose that in 2016, Organizing for Action becomes an independent group advocating on behalf of the election of the Democratic presidential nominee, whoever that is. That would be perfectly legal, thanks to Citizens United. They couldn't coordinate with the campaign, but they would have the advantage of a campaign with the president, who will presumably still be popular, at least with his party base. So in theory, it could give a huge advantage to Obama in choosing his successor.
And the left is happy with this, paying for access to the president?
I think the left is uncomfortable with it. Common Cause, which is a self-described good government group, and which, by the way, we should note, is also a 501c4 corporation, the kind of group it thinks should not have free speech rights. Common Cause is calling on the Obama, on Organizing for Action to shut down. I have a feeling they're not going to comply with that demand.
Okay, Best of the Web columnist James Taranto, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks.
$500,000 and you can speak to the president.